Alright, so, Bandai dropped their, they dropped their ban list. And, of course, I have a YouTube channel. I have a platform, so I'm going to talk about it. Because I, of course, have my opinions, just like everyone else. So, there's only two additions to the restricted and limited list. Pilaf is banned. And the 3-cost Babidi went to 1. This is a joke. That's kind of just the bottom line. It's basically just like a total slap in the face to majority of the player base, I feel, because this was so very obviously just like an appeasement to general complaints. Personally, I don't think that Pilaf is exactly a fair card, but I also don't think that that is the main problem with why Halo Coup is, you know, on paper BDIF, best deck in the game, you know, however you want to say it. And I do think that the 3-cost Babidi is a hit to boo, but I don't think it is like the hit, right? Obviously their turn 3 is very obnoxious to play Babidi into the Boo Tanks, or the Buhan, ripping 2 cards. That's super annoying. And then they do it again at the end of the game. You know, however, with that being said, as far as Boo goes, they'll probably just hold it. Like, they're gonna draw it, right? The deck draws so many cards. I mean, if you ever played against a Boo, they're sitting at like 15 cards in their hand at the end of the game. They will likely draw it still. If they don't, very sick, very cool. They're just gonna pop a cantrip and attack you twice with a 30k guy. And they're gonna buff it to 40 on both swings. They're still gonna kill you the exact same way. But anyway, let's kind of not get super deep into that. Let's kind of roll it back. And let's talk about Halo. Pilaf probably could have used an errata. It should just work like Hercule GT. I mean, that's kind of just the way that I feel about Pilaf. It should just work like Hercule GT. He should just not be able to pick himself up. And maybe they'll give us like a retrain, and then we get that. But realistically, when it comes to Halo, the problem cards are Final Hope Slash, Short Hair, Sharpener is just literally an extra energy. Okay, yes, they have to hit, right? We just took 4 non-Satan cities out. They're just going to put in 4 more names. Whether it be the skillless Videl, more of the Saiyaman 1 and 2 package. That's actually just like realistically it. But like, some lists already play the skillless Videl, so they can just bump numbers on Hercules. They can bump numbers on the Saiyaman 1 and 2 stuff. They can play 4 Great Saiyaman now, which is a very unfair piece of removal when your board is Ereza, Sharpener, Videl. You're bottom decking anything with a Hercule. You're bottom decking a Broly, okay? You're bottom decking a Broly with the field spell, and your board full of 1-drop weenies, because that's how Halo Coup works. So, let me just paint this picture for you. You're playing a grind game against Halo, right? You're playing a grind game against Halo Coup. They go, they go to 9 energy because they do this all the time. All they have to do to effectively accomplish the same thing as Pilaf, grab Final Hope, swing 25, bounce Pilaf, repeat, is 2 Videls. And let's be honest, you're not killing Videls against Halo Coup. They're not going to let you kill it, and they will very rarely ever leave it on board to be susceptible to be bottom decked or KO'd or minus. Let's just be honest, that's how the deck functions. When piloted correctly, there will not be a 2-cost Videl on the board when they pass their turn. So it's very likely that in a late game scenario, this will be the case. They'll tap 2, they can play Videl. They swing, grab at Ereza or Sharpener, it doesn't matter. Tap 2, play Videl, that's 4 energy. Swing, get back Final Hope Slash. Okay? So then, they can go activate Battle, because it's when attacking, get Final Hope Slash. Bounce Videl, that's 5 energy. Play Videl for 2. Swing when attacking. add back Final Hope Slash. Swing Leader, draw 2, place 1 on top of deck. Activate Final Hope Slash, bounce Videl. Play 1 for Erasa, that's all 9 energy, and they get to add a card back to their hand. Now, obviously, you know, after that, at the end of that 9 energy turn, they leave 1 Videl on board. However, they've used no resources. They've used no cards, actually. And they just drew off Leader Swing and set up their turn for next turn. And they could theoretically get a search with their Erasa. And obviously, this is still problematic with Sharpener. You know what I'm saying? Sharpener makes this even more free. You're not going to kill that Videl on board. And if you do, they have swung at you 20, 40, 20, 40. And they have a draw 3 card. So it's definitely not ideal. It's not an infinite loop, right? But Final Hope Slash still causes a loop nonetheless. Realistically, Final Hope Slash probably should just be banned, because any card that can bounce your own cards is just going to be problematic in the future. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time. Most FTK loop decks come about from, you know, you bouncing your own shit. Yeah, it's still not going to be ideal. They still have this super passive high life game plan. They just outvalue you with short hair. They have removal for anything in that a Great Saiyaman. You know, they didn't do anything to really hurt the consistency of the deck. And like I said, at the end of the game, they can just Videl, Final Hope, Videl, Final Hope, and it's a bunch of 40 swings. It's still, they give you 1 card. I guess they give you 1 card, but even then, not really, because the first Videl gives you a card back, so you don't actually use anything from your hand. It's just as degenerate, I feel. Obviously, peel off Final Hope, peel off Final Hope, peel off Final Hope is more degenerate. But 40 swings are no joke. As someone who plays Vegito, 40 swings are no joke. And you know, talking, you know, on that note, like with peel off getting banned. You know, every other blue leader also takes a hit, right? Like Vegito, we like peel off, not for peel off Final Hope. You can do that. It is degenerate. But we like peel off to get back Savior of the World at the end of the game when we're trying to kill you. With a deck like Vegito, and even, I get it, the deck is bad, I get it. But Blue Gohan also, a deck that needs to play out of drop, peel off was a very useful tool for us. I also, in Blue Gohan, teched in 1 Savior of the World so that I can get it back at the end of the game with peel off. So that I can have a really big kill turn, because my deck is ass. So I need all the help that I can get. Admittedly, another degenerate deck, you know, that honestly might be even better than Halo Coup now, is you play Trunks with Halo Coup Engine, because Trunks has the ability to do Videl, Final Hope, Videl, Final Hope, and then Leader Skill bounce the last Videl that's on board. So they actually give you nothing. So you can just simply play Trunks with the entire Satan City engine, something that's been explored before. Everyone says it's less consistent, which is fair because obviously, you know, Blue Goku allows you to manip the top of your deck in the late game. However, the problem is the same problem that is with Halo Coup, and the same problem that exists with You Prefer Girls with Short Hair. That card allows you to operate on your front side because it stacks your deck for you, right? And now Trunks can quite literally give you nothing, because Leader Skill bouncing your own cards, it's almost like bouncing your own cards is a problem, creates an infinite loop. So it's something that people are going to catch on to. I have a humble viewer base. You know, I'm like the little guy here. A buddy of mine played Trunks Satan City, so that's kind of why I know that that is a broken interaction. Trunks being able to bounce your own Videl so you never give them to your opponent is pretty fucking busted. But yeah, I mean, I'm more so upset that every other blue deck has lost kind of a valuable tool in Pilaf. I think an errata probably could have been fine. As far as yellow goes, Yellow Vegeta is just the best deck in the game. It will continue to be the best deck in the game. It is insane to me that Bandai acts like 4-cost Frieza is not a problematic card. I mean, like I said, I got my invites. I got my invite to Nats with Yellow Vegeta. I don't like that deck. It's just a good deck. I just wanted to do well, so I played the best deck in the game. 4-cost Frieza just undermines almost any aggro strategy in a deck that's already super defense based. Yeah, it's just an impregnable fortress. And it only gets better. Result of training should be errata to be leader locked. But Bandai doesn't like bans, and they don't like erratas, so we're just not going to see that. Not, like, Majin Buu effectively changes none, right? They can just hand rip you one. It's still, like, that SR Wuhan is still rip one, draw one. You just pop a cantrip. They play the same passive game. They go to their awaken turn. They still keep your hand nice and manageable with the discard. They can just keep playing Buhan after Buhan. At the end of the game, they're still going to double striker Babidi 30k guy. They're going to kill you in the exact same way. And if you think otherwise, I'm just going to say it, you're coping. Black still is basically an unplayable color. Anyone saying that black beats yellow, you're also coping. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Your 6-cost Gogeta is super sick and a very nice card, but Blue Power Awakening would like to know your location. Yellow Vegeta does not care about your Trunks GT. They're going to Frieza, put it in your drop, and then Final Explosion your board. It's just simply the case. At any rate, Red will continue to be unplayable. Green will effectively be unplayable because we're not even going to talk about androids. Because they didn't do anything, so there's nothing to talk about. We're not even going to talk about Green. Green is unplayable except for androids. The Piccolo stuff looks promising. Boo is just getting more support. Blue is effectively just going to be only Halo Ku is playable now. And then you can play Trunks, like I said. You could just play Halo Ku with Trunks on top. And it's just, you know, theoretically, it's just better. So, anyway, I'm done kind of raging about it. Those are really my thoughts. I think that Final Hope Slash should have gotten banned. Frieza probably should have been limited to one. The 30k Boo probably should have also just been banned. They could have just kept Babidi. I don't care. Whatever. You can rip 2 cards from my hand. It's super annoying. But you're not going to fucking OTK me with 30-30, 20-20. It's actually really 40-40, 20-20, double striker. Like, it's, yeah. Whatever. I'm still going to play the game. I'm excited for some of the new stuff. I'm hoping that they don't... Because it feels like at this point their answer is just going to be power creep. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for Manga Booster. And, you know, if you made it to the end, I'll give you the little bit of my thoughts on Vegito, which is really quick. We just cut 4 Pilaf, and in the aggro version, I think we just play Piercing Sword of Light. I was testing in a few games. It's okay. Like, it's alright. I didn't want to play it because it's more zeros. But it does help you get to 20 and drop really fast. So, if you watched all the way to the end, that's my little bit of nugget of kind of like what I'm going to do with Vegito. I'll probably just try Piercing Sword. If that doesn't work out, potentially like the 1-drop Bulma from FBO3 or like another cantrip is like something I was considering as well. But Sword of Light seems okay for now. Yeah, I mean, that's basically just going to be it. We're cooked. See you guys.